I had a meeting the other day with my mother's guardian, if you want to call him that. Matters just continue in the absurd way that they continue. So I've had 10 years of experience of effectively being treated as a thief, completely trustless, and where there's been no accountability for my mother's funds from the receiver, and neither has there been any transparency. I've also felt in huge proportions discrimination affected against me, alongside complete inequality. There is a recording of the meeting that took place the other day. It's highlighted in red a little bit below this video, but I would suggest you listen to it if you're interested. I don't know how a person gets into this job to do these things when Mr. Hugh Jones is really a compulsive, contradictory liar. If you listen to the recording, you can clearly see how many times he contradicts himself, and this has happened throughout the period. So you left coming away from a meeting thinking you may have got somewhere, and he'll say, no, I didn't say that, and then he wonders why now I am taking recording devices to confirm what he has said. And when I go back and play those recordings, I can clearly see how one becomes so confused. You don't know whether you've got anything agreed or not. Anyway, the crux of this video are very simple. That my mother's money is basically coming to an end next year, and I mean early next year, according to them. And the underlying thing is they want to sell her property against my mum's wishes to, in my opinion, to foot their bills. When my mum was awarded money, she was awarded damages of £775,000 in 2001. It's 10 years ago. And if you add to that a high interest rate which was paid from the courts, which was 6%, alongside benefit payments, etc., and later a pension, and we've done a back calculation on the funds, because he won't give us any accounts. He won't provide figures for anything at all. He provided some in his first year, where he was supposed to take £2,500 a year. He took £26,000 in his first year, and after that wouldn't provide any figures at all. He also only provided us with £200 to live off for the first 2 years, whilst he was taking this £520 from mum's money. Obviously something doesn't seem right, you know. And on a back calculation now, there's £200,000 to £300,000 missing. Now, I personally believe in from the estate, and I can only assume that he's had it. Mum would like to know where it is or what's gone wrong, and again you get an absolute point blank refusal, or, you know, write to the court. You know, we write to the court about matters, and things only here and there get noted and replied to. It's a constant barrage of just a blank wall with lots of it, you know, and it's tiresome, you know. But I suppose that's the idea, to wear you down, you know. Anyway, we are where we are, you know, and I'm trying to get this message across out there to the public about what is happening to old, vulnerable folk in this country who are under this regime, and effectively it's controlled by the government, and very poorly controlled. There doesn't seem to be very much anybody can do about it. I'm not on my own. There's a catalogue of people out there that send emails to me who are camping outside Westminster and doing various protesting, but it's not yet in the public eye properly. So on we go, you know. We emigrated in 2008, and if you listened to the recording the other day, he denies that ever happened. But yet, I don't know how he can deny it. He's been paying the rental on the property that we've been living in from my mum's estate for 3 years. The property in England that mum's owned has been up for sale for that duration of time. All our possessions are in Spain, apart from basic homely things in connection with viewings for the house that's up for sale, that was up for sale. My mother has got her E121. She signed on the system in Spain and signed off the system in England. He knows all about that. He organised it. But yet, in the recorded meeting of the day, he says, "Oh no, I don't accept that you've emigrated." You know, I mean, this is the man that we are forced to deal with. You know, you know, it is ridiculous. I've complained to the court. I've complained several times. The court, right, you know, did a 7-month-long investigation into Hugh Jones's handling of the affairs. But what did they come back with? They came back with a 3-line response saying that they found nothing wrong with Mr. Hugh Jones's handling. And when asked for a copy of the in-depth investigation, I was refused under data protection. I was run round from pillar to post, excuse after excuse. And when I quoted section 40 of the data protection, which means that it can be anonymised without providing personal details, I was then turned down again. You know, you cannot get information. Everything is conducted under secret courts, secret hearings, behind closed doors, and all done and dusted. It's like my mother's the charges. She's not been able, as far as I'm concerned, she's compos mentis. She's not been able to judge what Hugh Jones has been charging her over 10 years because he won't send her accounts. He's refused to do it. He clearly says that on the recording, that he refuses. And then later he decides to offer some sort of information. But when pressed for further information, he refuses. He says, "Write to the court." You know, I mean, ask yourself, it's 2011. We're in a country that we deem as, you know, justifiable, democratic. You know, the House of Commons is banging on about transparency and accountability. We're getting none of that. Those people that are here, having to listen to predatory guardians that are stealing money and taking their houses, places to live, in order to fund further bills of theirs. You know, I'm incensed. I mean, literally incensed. I have been doing this care for 15 years without any pay whatsoever. Caring for my mother. My mother was awarded this money to pay for care. None of it has been paid to me. None of it. My mother recognises that. She recognises it. Her receiver, Hugh Jones, says I should go and get a job. That's on the recording. It's not the first time. He's said it lots of times. You should go and get a job. I've already got a job. I've been doing it 15 years. 15 years without any pay. My mother sees that I should be protected, and she feels her house should be put into beneficial joint tenants in equity, whereas if she dies, the house automatically transfers to me. She's wanted to do this for years. It's being resisted. He actually wants to sell it. He wants to sell it. And you listen to the conversation, he'll contradict himself. It goes round in circles. One minute the house has to be sold, next minute I'm not saying that the house has to be sold. So, where are we up to? Because I've written to the courts, I've written to Kenneth Clarke, the Justice Secretary, I've written to Jack Straw when he was in power of the Justice Department, I've written to David Cameron, I've written to Tony Blair, I've written to Nick Clegg. All these letters get passed back to the courts and they give you some feeble response. You know, we complained about the payment in euros and not having my mum's money in euros because we were subject to an exchange rate being in Spain. Being in Spain meant when we first went there in 2008 there were 1.5 euros to the pound. There's now €1 to the pound. When my mum moved to Spain, she had £200,000 that we wanted in a euro account, which would have been worth €300,000. It was never done. Still in pounds today. We still live in Spain, but today the money is still in pounds. They're still paid, tied to an exchange rate. The effective loss is €100,000 to my mum's estate. No wonder the money's running out. You know, no wonder. But this government is doing that to my mother. My mother is 71. She's had 2 reports. She had a report when she went into the court that clearly stated she had capacity to make the decisions needed to continue with her life properly on her own account. But they ignored it. They didn't agree. The court doctor didn't agree, and he didn't come up and do a clinical examination. He came and did 1 hour. My mum was forced to undergo a 3.5-hour examination by a clinical neuropsychologist who clearly stated the report was sent in. They sent a doctor that came round for an hour. I recorded that meeting, still have it today, and didn't agree, so she stayed in the court. She had a report done last November 2010 which clearly stated she has got capacity to make decisions. That report has been largely ignored too. That report was conducted because of her decision to stay in Spain, and there was some question mark about whether she could make that decision. So we had to have a report done. And today we're still in the same position. More reports are needed. Can she keep her house? I don't know what someone has to do in this country as a minority to get noticed and to have the laws changed for somebody in them House of Commons to do something about it. But if you're out there listening, the likes of John Hemming MP, who is supposed to be reforming the court, just take a look round this website. Listen to the meetings that we're having to deal with. 10 years, it's absolutely stole my life. My mother thinks I deserve that property, but the British government doesn't. And we're British. I'm going to end this video for now, and I've not even touched on the subjects that I want to touch upon. But that person who's been in charge of my mother's affairs, whom I have constantly complained about, has effectively, in my opinion, stole £200,000. He has also effectively lost her €100,000 in exchange rate fees. He has also recently he conspired with the agent to devalue her house and sell it from under her, which we managed to prevent at the moment. Things are not good in this country at this minute. It's a disgrace. And I mean it.